Hello, fellow merrymakers. We're traversing our way through the 12 Drams of Christmas thanks to this wonderful whisky advent calendar.
Yes, indeed. Brought to us by Drinks by the Dram, your people for microscopic pours of whisky. But microscopic they may be, useful they most definitely
Day
are.
3, Tim will try to guess what is even going on.
I should wash my bloody glasses, what I should do
Yes.
before I do that. Making it even more harder for me.
It's hard on the heels of Day 2.
Yes, me on the hat seat today, so I will assume the tasting position, and you may retrieve the dram.
Yes. Where are we? There we go. Day number 3. Oh.
Now, you really should know what's going on by this point, but just in case you missed it, we are playing a wee game with these, by which I will blind taste the whisky and make 3 assumptions about its the nature of it. First point will be awarded for the nature of the spirit. Is it a single malt? Is it a single grain? Is it a blend? And if a blend, what sort? Getting pretty granular there. We might just make it, is it a blend or is it not, because that's pretty tenuous at that point. I will then try to guess the region, and those are the classic regions for whisky distillation: Lowland, Campbellton, Islay, Speyside, Highland and Islands. And then I will cast the really long net out there and make a go at saying either what blend it is, or if it's a single malt, what distillery it came from,
Now,
and get it wrong.
The blend category is going to be tricky the region category will become tricky whenever blends come into play.
Well, if it's blend, then that's it's exempted from the region category.
Here comes today's offering. I will show you, lucky viewers at home, what we are trying in advance.
And if that's a garbled mess on the camera, it'll be captioned below, so don't worry about it.
There we have it.
Alright, let's get to pouring. It's rather hot in here.
It is rather warm. The hat, yes. Obviously Christmas associated with the festive season, snowmen, woolly hats and so forth. Not so for us in the southern hemisphere. It is well tropical here in New Zealand.
Alas.
Subtropical, technically. But the point still stands.
It is a white Christmas figuratively only for us.
There we go. If you'll present your hand, I will offer you a glass.
There we go.
All good?
Right,
okay.
let's see what we've got. And as we stipulated, there shall be no coaching from the offsider.
And I must confess, after reading this label, to a certain degree of ignorance. So, I'll have to not be able to confirm or deny any of your guesses until after the blindfold comes off, and you can weigh in.
Righty-ho then. So, what are we smelling? There is... It's a fairly subdued nose, but there's a fair bit of alcohol on there. So,
without giving anything away, this is a name I obviously recognise, but it's not something I've encountered previously, and I could not give any particularly useful detail on it.
Well, all right. So let's see what we've got. Not getting an enormous amount off the nose. There's sort of some toffee. It's sweet, generally. It's not...
I agree with it. That's quite a...
wooden.
Yeah, there's nothing really standing out to me on the nose either.
This, I think, is going to be a bit of a challenge.
Ah.
Now, what are we having here? There's a few flags raised for not blend. There's almost a few flags raised for single grain, but I think single grains are normally very obvious. I think we might sort of fool ourselves into thinking, oh, is this a grain? But then you get a real grain, and it's so obvious that you've got grain whiskey. So I think that's a mistake to call it that. So, not a single grain. Is it a blend or is it a single malt? It's very... It's not a dynamic whiskey. It's not a vibrant whiskey. It's sort of fairly subdued, almost in a lowlandy kind of a way. But it doesn't... Goodness. Glengoyne just flashed in my mind, but I don't think it's Glengoyne.
Well, do you want to add water first? Or
no, I don't think it
blindfold?
It doesn't seem like it needs water. We'll put the cards down.
Okay.
I think this is, I'm tasting a malt, a single malt. God, where am I? All right, let's say I'm going in with low confidence here.
Right.
It's a single malt. I'll say it's from the Highland region, and I think it might just be. Goodness me. I don't even have a single thing for the distillery. I won't even embarrass myself. How did I do?
Well, single malt was a very good pick. This is one of the least distinct single malts I've come across before. This is Cardew Gold Reserve. Cardew we have not tried before on the channel. In my recollection,
the Cardew.
A mere 40% ABV, which that relatively low strength will trick the senses into thinking maybe there's some other influence, maybe some. And in fact, it's not a straight up single age statement. Single malt, the Gold Reserve clearly is a blend of different ages. And still a single malt.
I wonder if it's Highland.
Oops. Yeah, Cardew. I've drawn a mental blank on. Obviously, you see the label on the shelf at every visit to a whiskey store. What do you think? Consult the internets.
Well,
refresh our memories.
We'll find that out. We'll say in post, but I'm feeling confident actually. I think Cardew is Highland, so I'm fairly pleased with that. I'm not particularly impressed by the whiskey. Cardew Gold Reserve. Obviously, that's their no age statement version. Cardew, a distillery that has gone through. Oh, it's had a few sort of image problems, I suppose. Really, Cardew. That was it's a classic malts range whiskey now. I think a Diageo joint. It remains a very, very popular whiskey, but it was sort of on the one of the first ones to sort of court controversy over both no age statement versions, but also they made I think they made a blended version that was sort of it wasn't particularly honest about the fact that it was a blend. It was it was called Cardew, and it wasn't stipulated that it was a single malt. But this is I think I have the right story here. It was the implication was that it might confuse people into thinking they were buying the very popular Cardew single malt when in fact they were buying blended whiskey, and a sort of a real reversal had to take place there. Or I might be completely wrong, but either way, I don't really rate this one.
It's very sweet, but it's not a real standout. There's nothing particularly distinct discerning from its flavour.
It's a bit. It's just a bit boring. I would say. Yeah.
If it was just narrowed down to one age statement, it'd be more of a clear character. If it was a higher strength to begin with than just 40, then we'd be able to discern more.
Yeah, it's not in any way aggressive or offensive or juvenile in its flavour. It just is not very interesting. Kind of reminds me of like Johnny Walker Gold Label. Nice kind of a thing you bring out of the freezer, have it with chocolates or whatever. It's just not not a hell of a lot going on. So I can't say a great deal about Cardew's Gold Reserve. Their age statement 12 could be a lot more interesting, I suspect. But we'll maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we won't. But anyway, I still think we're doing surprisingly well in terms of the guesswork here. I'm pleased with that one. That one I felt I was very low confidence on that one, but I pulled through. So let us know how you're keeping up with the fantasy tasting, and we will be right back with another one. And Dave will be in the hot seat.
See you tomorrow.